Um, we you know we might go out for dinner or we have a small family party. I mean, obviously this year it's a bit special, so my brother's having a big buka puasa and doa selamat, and that's all my father wants. We were thinking like what to do for his 90th. Shall we have a big do? Shall we do something else? I was thinking I wanted to do something that was more long lasting, and not just a celebration, but something that would you know, last longer or something. I was thinking of some sort of awards program or something with his name, and he just refused. He doesn't want to have anything in his name. It's just, he said, no, nothing in my name. And so he said, what do you want to do to celebrate? And said, doa selamat is fine. And that's it. And he actually likes to be surrounded by family, and especially like the younger generation. So we've really made an effort to get like nephews and nieces and need to come rather than just the older ones. Yeah.
I can see that he's very, very family oriented.
Yeah. I think we're kind of his refuge. You know.
So do you see yourself? I was like thinking, does Marina look more like the father or the mother?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I've had people say both things. So I guess, well, everyone is a combination, right, of their parents. So I don't know actually.
So with that, what do you wish for your father?
Well, mostly I wish him good health, a long life, and lots of or continued courage, and dedication, and all the things that he's been doing, especially recently. Yeah, but mostly good health. And my parents are pretty much, for their age, they're quite amazing, because they're so healthy.
90.
Yeah, 90 and 89, and so alert. Because my mom, her eyesight is not so good, but apart from that, I mean, I think they're really, really amazing. I mean, my mother-in-law was the same age, but just so different. And so for me, it was really kind of strange to see someone who's 80 something and not, up and about and like them, because I'm so used to my parents, and I really, really count my blessings, because I see other people with older parents who are, in fact, younger than my parents, who are, frail, and they have, to really take care of them, and that's far, alhamdulillah, my parents are just on the go all the time. I mean, I can hardly keep up with them. They're really incredible. I mean, their schedule is exhausting.
So how does in school, when you were in school, your friends would say like, oh, is your dad Dr. Mahathir? And does anyone talk about that?
No, never.
It's a normal.
No, because he wasn't famous or anything, and I was in the same school for a long time, from like kindergarten, from like when I was about age 3 till I was 15, and so I had more or less the same friends throughout. So to them, it's just Marina's dad. It's not anyone special or different. It's just so they didn't ask or anything, because I was really not aware so much of anything different about him, because I mean, he was just the local doctor, and well, for a while he was an MP, 1964. I was standard 1, so I mean, my friends are not going to say anything, and they might not even have been aware. Yeah.
So how did your father influence you when you grow up? I remember when your mother told us the moment when he was first elected as a cabinet minister of education. At that time, she was packing your clothes, and she put a note for you. And then at that time, since you're until now, how does that influence you growing up with your father?
Well, when my dad first entered the government, which was 1973, 3, I think. You know, I was already 17 and I was going off. You know, like my mom said, she was packing for us to go. We were going overseas. So most of my childhood, he was not anyone special. Of course, some notoriety in 1970 and all that. But, you know, for my memory of my parents was just like any normal parents. You know, people keep thinking that I grew up as the PM's daughter, which is quite flattering because it means they think I'm very young. But in fact, he did not become PM until I was an adult. I was, you know, I think 23, after university already. I came back, started working. So I grew up as a very normal person. So, I mean, I remember my parents, both of them has been very strict about school, no compromises about that. And, you know, very strict about manners and things like that. So, you know, I mean, I always say this, and I've said this many, many times, that all the values I have now, I learned from them, from when I was young, because they were very, very strict about these things, about certainly not about telling lies and things like that. So yeah, so I always find it puzzling when people ask me that, because you know, the normal parents, they instill upon us, you know, the basic values that I think every parent normally does instill into their kids, about working hard, about nothing comes free. That was a big lesson. Nothing ever comes free. You have to work hard for everything. You have to study hard, and you have to finish school and at least and university, and then you can do what you want. But you know, that idea of like you have to get education right until university, and then that's it. After that, you want to be a singer lah, whatever you can, but you have that degree to fall back on. But one thing they never did was they never pressured us to take up medicine or anything. They're very liberal parents in that way, in that they never pressured us to pursue certain courses or whatever we wanted to do, we can do.
Never ever that any your father tell you, oh, I think you should join politics or something?
No, it was more the opposite. I know people think this is strange, but he really doesn't believe in political dynasties, and we're pretty much not allowed, and certainly not, if not actively discouraged, but certainly not encouraged at all to join politics. Like even Mukris, you know, he only joined after my father stepped down, because it was a rule, it was a family rule that we couldn't. Mozani was treasurer of UMNO Youth, but that was an appointed post. They wanted someone from who had but that was it. But none of us were active in politics at all. So you know, we didn't grow up as a political family in that sense. In many ways, it's very, very normal childhood. So yeah, it's, you know, I think people really have some misconceptions about our family and the way we were brought up. I find a lot of myths about it, because that's what they imagine it should be, but it was not.